We're going to do a T1 versus Sandbox review to see why the f they lost. Because Joe Marsh in that interview said that they were trying things. So let's see what they were trying. For context, for whoever's watching this on YouTube, Twitch, whatever, I have not seen this series a single piece of it. I did not see any of this series. I did not see draft. I did not see anything. I checked the post-game thread and saw that Sandbox won. I didn't even look at draft that much. Okay, Sivir picked. They won to Lulu Azir. That's a lot of scaling. Let's go 0. Let's go a bit faster on the thing. I wonder what AD they're picking there. They have a couple options. They have like, you can go Aphelios, you can go Twitch. Zeri is open if they're going to play... I mean, actually, Zeri is probably best to pick on 3 here. The reason they don't pick Zeri is because obviously they have really high prio on Azir. Otherwise, they would just pick Zeri Lulu. So now here for Sandbox is awkward. You could just pick Tamkench. You could pick Karma. You could pick, yeah, Croco's Vi. Oh, Vi Ari. The LSB special. They love Ari Vi closer in Croco. So here you have a couple options. You could pick Jungle. Trundle here would be okay. Not great into Ari, but it's good into fucking Vi. Jarvan is also not bad here. But I think Zeri is so high prio right now. So I guess you would just go Zeri, right? Unless they value some other jungler. I mean, what if you didn't pick AD here, what could you pick? You could pick Zeri, Kog'Maw, Aphelios, Twitch. And then that would make it so you would get Trundle or Wukong here. Or Jarvan. So there's 3 junglers, 4 ADs. So yeah, you just pick your strongest. They should probably ban Wukong Trundle or... this ban will say a lot. Leona. They're scared of Leona. Why are they scared of Leona? That would be like one of the last supports I would really think of. When you're playing Ahri Leona, it's not the greatest. Nautilus or something is also better lockdown. They ban Xin Zhao. Okay, awkward. Yeah, here Wukong is great. Trundle is great. Jarvan is great. I don't really like Sejuani. Okay, yeah, I like Sejuani. The reason I like Sejuani is because Wukong on 5 here is the best, for sure. Yeah, they should have banned Nautilus. I don't think Leona matters that much. Let me show you a little something. So, Sejuani. Yeah, this is Sejuani top in this split. Let's see how many... Let's just look at the top regions in the world. Okay, Sejuani top. Now, I talked to a lot of top laners about Sejuani top and why it's good. And they told me it's really good with Wukong. Sejuani Wukong is one of the strongest top junglers in the game right now. Every single time you play Sejuani, you really want Wukong. Here, it's not ideal. Anything with an auto attack reset. So Trundle, Viego are okay, but Wukong is always the best. Sejuani Poppy if it's open. Xin Zhao is fine, auto reset. Viego is okay. Poppy is OP. Sejuani Vi. Sejuani Vi. Sejuani Viego. Sejuani Vi. Sejuani Vi. Sejuani Xin Zhao also okay on the auto reset. Sejuani Viego. These are the junglers you need.
Hi.
Taking away things like Wukong is good as well. Sejuani's in. There's the Sejuani Pantheon that G2 played with a melee mid, which I think is good. Because then your whole top side complements each other really well, where you have like Engage, CC, Skirmish, and you have triple melee for the Sejuani. Viego, Trundle, anything with auto attack resets is good. There was the Jarvan game. But yeah, earlier on it was a lot of Sejuani Wukong. Anyway, they're going to pick Pantheon here. I know what they're going to pick. Which I'm not a huge fan of this Pantheon. Because you're against Gragas, Ahri, Sivir, like... I think you could just go Wukong there. You could go Trundle or Viego. I think all 3 are good. I'm not a huge fan of this Pantheon. Because you have Sejuani frontline with Zeri, Azir, Lulu. 3 range champs. Why do you need like a bruisery, skirmishery, like early game jungler? That wants to dive like super hard. I think you could just pick Wukong, match lanes. You could pick Trundle and match lanes. And then just be more useful in teamfights. Because this champ in teamfights, not great. A lot of his setup is flash W. That's basically the Pantheon setup. Really hard versus this, really hard versus this, really hard versus this. There's no real target. But it does give them a bit of early game, which is okay. When you have so much scaling, having a little bridge to late game is fine. Hey guys, it's Caedrel. I'm going to be pumping out loads of YouTube content, but I noticed that a lot of you aren't subscribed. There's going to be a graphic somewhere. Maybe my editor put it up. But if you could subscribe, it really helps. I really appreciate all the support on the videos recently. I'll try to be covering all the major regions across the world as much as I can. And yeah, thanks again for watching the videos. Enjoy! Bitch. But LSP's draft is, it's very early game as well. Like Ahri, Vi, Nautilus. These 3 champs want to get the ball rolling. They want to start some fucking action. Yeah, his W proc Sejuani E. Yeah, I know that. But he's not really going to be ganking top much this game, is he? So it's better to pick something that pairs well with Sejuani in teamfights rather than 2v2s. So what happens this game? Actually, Sivir didn't start Cull. Normally when I see Zeri versus Sivir, it's always Cull start lanes.
Pog,
he just wants to... This is very common, to push in first midwave and ward Raptors, but he just failed it. Which sucks a bit, because you don't get info on Vi when she's here. But you actually do see the animation of Vi E sometimes, if she doesn't pull the Raptors well. When you do Vi on Raptors, you need to pull them to here, otherwise your E shows over the wall. It's kind of like Nocturne Q, where you Q over. They lacked a little bit of info on Vi, which is not the end of the world. You look, he pulls it down and then E's backwards, or at least far away from the wall, because that like explosion of the E can actually show over the wall. Owner's walking in, wards the Raptors, takes bot crab. Rocco takes top crab. This is a problem. Like, T1 don't really have lanes that they can dive. Like, Pantheon really needs a really hard pushing lane, and Pantheon needs one of two things. One, he needs a champ like Sylas mid, or a Kali, or some kind of psycho champ that can just get like one wave of a turn and just go insta-dive bot, like Ahri, Talia, anything like that. Or he needs something like a 3v3 bot with an engage support that can get the push that he can dive on. But right here, he has neither. He has a pushing lane, which is good, but they can't really dive with a Lulu. And they have an Azir mid, which has the push, but he can't really roam. So, like, the Pantheon can't really set up 4-man plays, which is kind of sucks. I mean, you can play for top 2v2, which is good, but that's about it. Doesn't really win you the game to get this Sejuani ahead, but the Azir just feels off. I feel like when you're committing to this, they should just go for some fucking early game champ as well in mid. Faker's really, really far up. Fine, though, he shouldn't die. Like, for example, when EDG played Pantheon, they were playing Galio, Pantheon, Jax, right? That sound. I didn't watch this game, but that sounds like there's a lot of dives going on because you have 3 middies topside. A Draven lane as well. You look at G2 playing Pantheon, the success games of Pantheon, with a Sylas Draven lane, right? These are the kind of ideal drafts you would want to play Pantheon with or in. Look at Rare Atoms win against LGD. I know it's not very high up in the LPL, but they're playing like Pantheon, Sylas, with a Zeri Pike and Gnar. Like, there's a lot of stuff you can do in these games, you know? So I feel like this is a game where Pantheon is just playing with too much scaling, where he can cover your lanes and try to look aggressive, but there's not really much he can do to snowball the game. So the champ just falls off a bit. Even the games that Pantheon lost, you know, like when Weibo was playing it. Things like having Talias or Blitzcranks, like things that you can make action happen. So as much as a lot of people might look at this game and say, Owner's not doing anything, there's really nothing he can do. Like, unless he can somehow kill this Gragas, that's it. Like, he will never kill mid. This Ahri is way too mobile. There's not enough lockdown. And he will never kill bot because they lose 3v3 bot and Lulu doesn't have any setup. But they have really good scaling. The Pantheon just carries them to the early game to make sure they don't fall behind. And then they carry him to the late game. Just that's not really what Pantheon wants to do. He wants to just fight everyone and just get his team ahead. Just farming on Pantheon is so shit. That's why I think something like Wukong just fits better. Every game is winnable. Draft is very important, don't get me wrong. But every game is execution based, right? You can always win with certain drafts. You just have... The only thing what happens with drafts is you have like... Think of it as an umbrella, okay? You're underneath the umbrella. And this is your draft, is the umbrella, right? Now, your draft can be bigger or smaller. Your umbrella can be bigger or smaller depending on how good your draft is. If your draft is good, you have a big umbrella. That means you have loads of win conditions. You have loads of ways to win the game, you know? From all the way to over here. But if you have a very bad draft, then the umbrella is very small. So you only have a very small window to actually win the game. You know, if you're just like playing a full early game comp, you have a couple of ways to win it. And once you run out, that's it. You're basically against the clock and you lose. Unless you clutch it. Now they're getting sucked into fighting Herald. Against the Nautilus Vi. Puma's here. Good, but Prince could push in bot. They need to get more here. They need to fight. Have to chase them. Oh my god, they're not going to be able to chase them. Oh, please. They have to chase. Oh, no, Faker. Oh no, they're not going to get anything. Oh, it's a horror. Well, Pantheon is out of the game. I can tell you that for a fact. This champ has now officially fallen off a cliff. He's completely useless. Guma loses bot wave. They're sharing mid XP as 3. They're not even starting Herald. Oh, this is horrible. They should not fight this Herald. Just think of a Herald fight, right? I mean, you can see it visually represented. When you're playing Nautilus, Vi, Ahri, you have so much snappy setup, engage, boom, dead. Whereas the enemy team's playing Pantheon, Lulu, Azir, they need to like kite back, play properly, play at range, don't get engaged on, shield, heal, slow fight, chase you down. Like, your team comp sucks at fighting early. It's so bad at fighting early. Okay, so Faker is pretty behind now, actually, in this lane. He might get pushed in a bit. These two pinks overlap a bit too much, because if you see someone walking here, you know they're walking here. So these two pinks don't really make sense. It's better if this pink is here, this bush. Maybe if Pantheon and Sejuani are together and they can form and engage on one target, it kind of works, but it really doesn't, I think. If LSB is always matching or first, it's over. You have to be first as T1, which is impossible. Okay, T1's going to fight the Herald again, rematch. This is much better position for T1. Having a position where you're playing a front to back like this is much better, but LSB has a bit of an annoying flank here, which they have to deal with. So Zeus just has to walk up and push this guy out somehow. Because if he hooks... Pantheon is so fucking useless. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable how useless this champ is. Imagine they had a human jungle champ that actually fits their comp, like a Wukong or something, or anything. Oh, that was kind of unlucky. Guma griefed it there. So just look. Let's just watch Pantheon in this fight and imagine. Like, he can't early dive, so he's gonna. This is Pantheon's strongest point. A 5v5 early game. This is where Pantheon can actually do the most because he falls off. Charm, knock up, Lulu ulted, presses E, knocked back, knocked up, dead. Then he just W's a low HP Vi and gets the kill. Imagine this was a Wukong right here. You know how much space it creates? Or a Jarvan or a Trundle. It would create so much space. But like Joe Marsh said, they were trying things, so I can see why. I mean, this is a fine fight for T1. They can win here. They just trade jungle for jungle, and Zeus is low, and Faker has confidence, and Prince is split. But Guma just goes too far, and Closer kind of clutched it. If Guma here flashes the charm, it's over. The fight's over. But because he gets hit and gets chunked, and gets hooked and chain CC'd and dies, then T1 lose. But it's very difficult to judge whether flashing a charm when you're 80% HP is worth it, but... That's how you would min-max to win that fight. Okay, here comes the Dragon start. Looks pretty free. Faker gets a plate, which is good. Also, the Zeri Azir, not to hit hard too much on the scaling, but the Zeri Azir scaling is really, really exponential. Like, if this is a graph and this is like 13 minutes in now and this is 40 minutes, like, this is strength, right? How strong they are for fights. It's kind of like this... Because of the itemization, right? Shield bow first item, crown first item. Like, even at first spikes, you're really weak. It's at like 3 item spikes that things start to get really taking off. So, as much as like T1's carries are even. Well, Faker's down in CS, but we'll just say even, quote unquote, for now. These items suck. They're really not good for damage, especially when you're relying on those two to do all the damage. Right? This Pantheon is... I'm not going to look through the LSB lens too much right now. I think the most important question is like, what is T1 doing wrong? I've said this so many times. Every review I look to the losing POV for 90% of the time. So Closer gets mid tier 1. No, he doesn't. He'll get low though. He's level 11. Faker's level 9. Okay, he's level 10 now at least. Okay, nice confidence by Kayle. T1 don't have any way to force people back. Dove this split, actually fine, considering he roll swapped the top. Not too bad. Not the best top in the league. I think the mid-jungle AD is carrying this team really hard, but he's doing his job. He's okay. There's a lot of downtime in matching. So if like something like this where nothing's happening, basically what the team comms are right now is T1 is saying, oh, they're going to go for top tier 1. Can we match? And then Kuma usually saying, no, they have mid push. He's collapsing top. And then owner says, okay, we can't 2v2, so you're going to have to back away. And then they say to themselves, what's the cross map? And Zeus is like, well, I have no TP, I'll push bot.
Let's go, man.
So you can see that's why Zeus is pinging down here. He's saying, I'll push and
Zeus,
get the wave in.
Nothing compared
and then
to the ult.
when he pushes the wave in, what will happen is someone from LSB, most likely Dove, will have to base and go bot to catch the wave, which then allows T1 to make a cross map, counterplay top. So that's exactly what's happening. Okay, they're going way too deep here. They have no damage though. Maybe Closer pushes this wave and TP's bot to make sure that they can't lose a bot tower or something. So anyway, here it comes. Dove's gonna base. Does he TP? Yeah, he does. So he TP's bot. So now Faker can walk up because they all backed away and they have to catch the next mid wave. They have to catch bot wave. Because obviously if you drop these waves, you're falling way too far behind in XP, and then that allows Faker to walk back up. And now Zeus has pushed out bot, so he's gonna come mid to top, I guess. And try... This TP was really... What the fuck is this TP? There's 1 minute before Drake. He's TPing on a mid wave, which is already dead. Taking it away from Gumayushi. They lose top push, they lose mid push. Drake's not up for 40-50 seconds. Now he's just standing here, and Dove's there too. Why does he do that? Why doesn't he just run back bot, or run top, or run bot, or run mid? Like, why does he have to TP? Kinda weird. Odd TP. Especially taking away from Guma, it just feels like it's... Yeah, I think he should just... What Zeus's best play here is, in my eyes, is he runs bot. Okay? Because he has TP advantage over Gragas, and he matches bot. And if a fight kicks off 4v4 around Herald, then he tries to find an angle to TP in. And if Dove leaves his lane to try and make it a 5v4, then T1 stall for Zeus to get bot tier 1, and then he TPs in to make a 5v5, right? I think it's quite a simple play what he should do. The fact that he gives up his TP just means that he's in the same boat as Dub, even though he got TP advantage. Like, this whole play by Dove was, I'm going to run top, I'm going to ignore all bot waves, I'm going to make sure my team, 5-man, gets this tier 1 top or has some top side vision, and then I'll base and TP bot so I don't lose creeps. Which means that LSB is trading gold and pressure for TP advantage, which is fine. But then why do you TP to just throw away everything that they just, like, lost in their play? It's kind of weird what Zeus does there, but I mean, the only logic I have is Herald is spawning in 10 seconds, and he thinks that if that mid-wave goes into here, then they're going to have way too much control here, and then they won't be able to walk in. Which is a very fair argument, because what Zeus ends up doing here is he defends this pink ward. I'll show you in a sec when the camera goes there. Zeus defends this, which wouldn't have happened if he was running down and Guma was catching the wave here. This Nautilus would already be killing this pink, and then they would have no way to contest this Herald. So the only reason he TPs here is to make sure they can contest this Herald with vision. They've given it up anyway. So it's wasted. Now he's going to run bot. Okay, great. So that's just a fucking waste. They're going to lose top tier 1 now as well. Now who's TPing bot? What the fuck? Why? What? What the fuck? Now they're going to Herald mid and hit your top tier 2. Oh my god, this T1 macro was disgusting. Now they're going to lose Drake as well. This sequence, oh my god, I would get the whip out in this fucking VOD review in the scrim room. What is happening? Hello? So, we're TPing mid to contest Herald, which we do not contest. Which is fine. Then, Herald's gone. We've lost Herald. Okay? Let's just take stock of what we've lost in the last minute. We lost our TP advantage. We lost Herald. We lost our mid TP. We lost our top tier 1. We lost 2 kills. We lost Drake. That's what happened in the last 1 minute and a half. I think T1, what they should have done here is cross-map. They should look and they should realize, this Herald, yeah, not fightable. Why are we even TPing to contest midwave to contest it? What the play for T1 here is, it's very simple. Run bot with Sejuani, you push out bot, play for bot tier 1. Faker gives up top waves and contests mid push. You get mid push into the tower, you go bot side, you take their camps, you ward up, you trade Drake for Herald, you lose your top tier 2 because they're going to Herald it, and then you just go down 1 tower and go even on Drakes, and you scale. You don't blow the fucking game open by losing everything. You need to trade from behind when you're behind. And you will lose something, but don't lose everything. What the game state should look like is these 2 towers should die, this should die, and you should get Drake and tier 1 bot. But Faker can't just TP bot, like... Blah! Faker can't just TP bot, man. Why? What is he getting bot push for? It's gonna do nothing. Are you gonna play through bot when they have Herald? No, you TP mid. And you can test mid waves. You TP here. And you just fucking Aram it to get mid waves. Because Ahri's not there. And if Ahri wants a TP, it's a 5v5. Sure. We play front to back. But dropping mid wave so they can Herald. And then you get collapsed on anyway. Yeah, I don't know. This was a mess. This was a fucking hot mess by T1. Good punish by LSP though. The second Faker TP's bot. Instant on mid wave. Instantly Herald. So now we've got a situation where T1 have no TPs. They have no towers. They have no neutrals. And they're playing a... This is called... Well, you can term it in many ways. Some teams call this the shield. Some teams just say just play defensive. Some teams just say set up picks, whatever. What you do is just double pink. And if they walk in, you can actually have a good terrain to fight over. Number 1 rule of pro play. You can see it right there from Sandbox. I will teach you guys a small lesson. If you're an aspiring pro, if you're on an amateur team, if you have mid push and you have top push, you do not walk into their jungle and contest this bush. This bush is the number 1 death trap in the game, in any pro game, no matter what, when you're ahead. Why? Because if you walk in here, first of all, you don't have vision. Second of all, when I was talking about space, if they're team fighting from here, you will always lose. Always. Because their carries have so much to work with. They could be around here. And what do you have to work with? Nothing. You're just here and you die. So how do you take control of this bush? Even in solo queue sometimes. What you do to take control of this bush is you go up, sweep, and then you come around. And you come from 2 different angles. Because then you have more space to work with. Yes? So, you don't go here. No. This route, very bad. You go here, and then you go here. So you have 2 people. Then it's takeable. LSB show it right there. Nautilus doesn't walk up an int. They take this brush, and then they just go through top. They don't even try to take that bush anyway, which is fine. Sometimes you don't need it. But never, ever, ever go in that bush. Ever. Ever. Unless you know where everyone is and you have a map hack. you'll watch a lot of this time, this bush will be uncontested. You'll see them have vision. It's the same on this side. This bush also, the same thing. You'll always see it when they're contesting Nash. There'll be a pink here and a pink here. And sometimes they'll have a ward here. Sometimes. But that's if they have, like, your tier 2 mid. If they have your tier 2 mid, then contesting this bush, way easier. But, yeah, if their tier 2 mid is up, this bush, uncontestable. They have so much to fall back to. The engage is always sloppy. They have... it's impossible. You can be 6k down and win a fight in that bush. No joke. Only way T1 can get a good fight is if they just int into this bush, which if they do, they can get a super fight and then play for Nash. But as long as Sandbox never gets sucked into it, they're fine. This side of the map is much softer. Like, this is really fine. This is really fine. Most of this part of the map is really fine. I suppose the only really annoying bush to face check is this one. When you're like, when Dragon's up, this bush here is quite deadly sometimes.
Pog, let's go, man.
Because you can get hit over the wall. See, never go near this bush, never, unless you have like big number advantage to the point where both their side laners are here and they're showing mid wave. Then maybe you can do it. And mid tier 2 is dead. Then maybe you can contest that bush. And you have spells to face check it. This is just something that you can tie together, okay? So this is a very easy thing to learn. If you can control this bush, then you can do Baron. But to control this bush, you need to get their mid tier 2. So once you get their mid tier 2 and take control of this bush, then you can start Baron in turn. Because you have so much more vision to work with. But if you cannot take this push and you do not have their mid tier 2, doing Baron is super hard. Why, Caedrel? Why? Well, 2 reasons. Reason number 1. If you start Baron and they're showing on this tier 3 catching waves because you just pushed in mid, then that's a lot more distance to cover than it is from mid tier 2. Especially given the fact that if they have mid tier 2, the distance is even shorter because they're here. So they just have to go like this, right? And face check their way in. And if you're on Baron, then obviously not a lot of people can get over the wall. Reason number 2, you have more vision to work with, so you have more time to be aware of, right? If I only have a ward here, and I see them now, then I only have about 4 seconds to work with. But if I have a ward in this bush, and I see them on mid tower, I can always evaluate and judge how much time I have, because I'll see them the whole way. They'll run down here, they'll run down here, and then I'll know exactly when to turn and how to turn. So it's an information game. And until you get this bush, it's really hard. So a lot of the pro times, you'll see, pro games, the slower ones, when they're very slow and there's minutes of nothing happening, a lot of the time, like right now, maybe you can see it, it's all for this bush. LSP want to find a way in here, they want to get mid waves in, try to find a way to crack this, and T1 are just defending. So that's basically all that's happening. I don't know why T1 even ran there, but there you go. So, T1 just lost the game. Congratulations. T1 have no blue orbs, they have 2 blue orbs on cooldown, they have no sneaky wards because they've never gone into river. They have no spells to face check. They only saw Dove. So, Zeus thinks they're on Nash. Zeus's brain is telling him they're on Baron. We have to go now. Or we're losing the game. And then he realizes they're not on Baron. And then the game's over. So yeah. That wasn't even a bait and turn. That was just good vision control. Make the enemy team sweat. Because, trust me, I've been in that situation a couple times in pro play where you don't know if they're on Baron because their vision control is so good. But because you're not sure, you have to check. And once you check, you're dead. Game's over. Also, the comms can get hectic. They're like, are they on Nash? And then one person's like, no, they can't be. And he was like, are you sure? But they haven't shown. And then they're like, yeah, actually, maybe they're on Nash. How do we check? Do you have blue orbs? No, I don't have blue orbs. Can you get me there to get vision? How the fuck are we doing that? Ah, fuck it, I'm going in. That's basically how it goes. They must have wasted their blue orbs. But that's a whole different conversation. Wasting blue orbs is a whole nother conversation. I fucking hate it in pro game when my AD carry is just sitting on mid wave. He's just cleared it out. He's standing still. And he thinks it's funny when Baron's up and we have no vision to just blue orb here for no reason. Oh, I see them. And they kill it. Oh, great. Cool, man. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's exactly what we needed to see when we saw them on mid a second ago. Yeah, just tell me 2 seconds later that they're still there. Oh, great, man. Don't save it for when we're fucking losing all our vision. And they could be on Nash and we face check and lose the game, you fuck. Sorry. Bit personal. Oh, good pick by T1. Good punish. What the fuck Kale was doing there? Maybe they can get Gragas too, yeah. Oh, what the hell? What the hell happened there? So T1 is just coming out of base. And Kale is just solo warding while Closer is top with no TP. So, big blunder by Sandbox. They already have vision here. And Gragas is marking this entrance. So there's really no reason for Kale to be here. Especially considering they don't have TP, so they can't turn. Then here, he should just flash. But yeah, I guess it's hard because of the melee range. There's no way to flash. He should just die, yeah. Yeah, in that situation, Jay, T1 didn't have a choice. You have to walk in. You can't play the information bluff. It's kind of like in CS when... You know in CS GO when it's a 1v1 clutch? I'm ranting a lot today. And there's a bomb defuse and they start the defuse but then they stop it. You're not sure if they're sticking the defuse or not. That's a very similar situation to what T1 was in a second ago. Don't want to go back too much, but this is the exact situation you'll see in a second. Where they don't know if they've planted the bomb. They've heard it, but they're not sure if they're sticking it. You know, if they're defusing it. So you have to just check. You have to check. Like, you fucked up earlier. You fucked your blue orbs. You fucked your bases. You fucked your wards. So you're in a point where you just have to check. Because if you don't check, then you have biggest balls on the planet. And you're playing, like, you're gambling if you don't check. And if you don't check and they get Baron, you look fucking stupid. But if you don't check and then Baron doesn't die, then I guess you just are the biggest Giga Chad on the planet. But that's never really the outcome. Cool, so T1's not in a... I mean, the spot is bad, but, like, Zeri is at a point where she's like... You know that exponential graph I was showing? And Azir's graph? Like, when they get Rabadons on Azir, that graph is... Their damage is fucking high. Zeus is not having a great game. Zeus on tanks. Not having a fun time. There's the Azir Rabadons. So, 3 items on their carries. Their carries do a lot now. The problem is, this Sejuani is fucking butter. He's so squishy. He has 2 items at almost 30 minutes with the fucking Lucidity boots. His passive is the only thing that will keep him alive for a couple seconds, but once that's off, he's dead. What the fuck just happened there? Did Croco just... Q flash R? What the fuck? Holy Croco. Wait, that Pantheon died quicker. Ah. Look at this Pantheon, look. Squishier than Guma. Triple kill. Wow, really good game by Sandbox. A lot of mistakes by T1. First pick Wukong now by You are trolling me, T1. Man. You are fucking with me. Now you are picking Wukong? First pick? Are you sure you want to first pick that with Sylas open? What's open? Sylas, Aphelios is pretty high prio now that there's 5 AD carry bans. Gwen is open. Gwen is super broken. I think I wouldn't be surprised if an Aphelios first pick here. Okay, there's the Aphelios Azir. Do they match it with Sylas? Or are they going to pick their full bot lane here? Jinx something? Ah! Nah! Huh? Huh? But the Sejuani Wukong was so good in the last draft. Now pick your mid. Please pick something like Akali or Sylas. Something, please. Swain. Okay, Swain is fine. Because it's an enabler. So I'll allow that. I think Swain is okay. The problem is they're dropping bots really hard here. If they ban Jinx, Xayah... Oh, he's gonna have to stretch for something here. They should ban Lulu. Or some kind of range supports here. Wait, Yuumi is open. What the fuck, man? There was a Yuumi draft there for T1 as well somehow. I don't know what you would play with Lulu, actually. What would you play? You'd have to first pick Yuumi... Wait, with Yuumi, sorry. You'd have to first pick Yuumi. They would take Aphelios. Then what? You'd have to pick, like, a Twitch game or something. But apparently Twitch Yuumi is broken, but... Wait, they banned Sylas and Ornn. I can see it. Dove used to be a mid laner. They're scared of playing against Sylas top. Acceptable. T1 have a good state right now. Like, everything's open. Just play a Jinx lane. Just play Jinx Braum, Jinx Lulu. Could play some kind of like Samira Nautilus Psycho lane. I don't know how that is actually into Tahm-Kench. It's probably bad for lane, but your team fight's okay. You're not picking Blitzcrank. Why are you picking Blitzcrank? What's the point? Like, I love me some Blitzcrank. Don't get me wrong. I love Blitzcrank. But it has a time and a place, you know? And this isn't the time or the place for a Blitz. When there's, you know, double ranged bot, a Thresh picked, you know, I can see a Blitzcrank angle. I would even have preferred Rakan here if you're gonna pick something like this. I think Jinx Renata is okay. I think Jinx Lulu is fine. I think Jinx Braum it works. Nautilus even can be better than Blitz into Azir Aphelios, at least because you have something. I just feel like, again, they have a champ that just doesn't fit. Last draft, it was the Pantheon. This draft, it's the Blitzcrank. What is it doing? An ult Tahm-Kench shield. Wow, that's massive. That's exactly what I would pick in my support role when I have a Jinx and 3 fucking skirmish champs topside. Maybe carry, I thought it was good. So yeah, sometimes it's not even the coach. It's just a player says I can play Blitz here. But Blitzcrank is, I don't know if it's good with Jinx. Like, dude, Blitzcrank wants kill pressure. They had a pretty easy game here if they just picked safe scaling support or something that can go in. Like that. But Blitzcrank's like teetering in the middle. Doesn't really go in, but it's not really a peeler either. It's just like a wild card. Hit hook, get free kill. So Croco did three camps into enemy raptors. Owner did blue grump, red rugs. Croco will also get bot crab. Can maybe get his blue as well afterwards. Owner will look bot, but there's nothing to do here. He's gonna get dove here instead, I think. Does Croco have flash? Killer, yeah. That's not good. Okay, their bot lane is taking pretty bad trades. That hurts. Nice ult by closer. Push him away. Owner is a bit up in XP because he caught midwave. They're gonna do Drake. Up as top push. Hovering in case of a Drake fight. Wow, I think closer is so fucking strong right now. Lost chapter first base is so fucking nice on Azir. Okay, T1 are forcing Herald. Their top 3v3 is stronger. Nice, really good. Yeah, punish those fuckers. Good, top side for T1 is ahead. Wukong got a kill, Swaying being behind is not the end of the world. And they have Herald, so not too bad. They just need to get this Jinx in the game now, because she's gonna get one shot on the tower here. Right? Oh, Blitzcrank did a lot there. Well, they've re-established some bot control, and Guma's not that far behind on CS. He also didn't waste his flash for no reason, which is fine. Just mid is a bit of a problem right now. Lane trades. Baker can't really fight back. Oh, nice play by Owner. Oh, okay, really good play by Closer as well. Closer's been... Herald mid. Yeah, sure. Nice hook by Keria. Really nice kill.
Asked the Netflix customer support lady if she could seed mill my subscription. She said absolutely, sir. Consider it cancelled.
Seed mill Micah's subscription. Fuck up. Alright, T1, really good roam by Zeus towards mid. They got 2 kills. Oh, they got 3 kills in total. Really good plays. They also got flashes out of mid support, which is good. So LSB have tempo on the map because T1 overstayed and they have bot push and they have TP to match, so they can start up Drake. A lot of plates went over to Aphelios. Zeus traded back plates. They lose Drake, but doesn't really matter too much, I think. The kills are always worth it. Lose tempo. Oh, nice sidestep by Closer there. Guma is just gonna get dove again, I guess. Great. Tower's dead. 1 for 1. Owner's gonna die. Duff TP'd in. Zeus is on the way. Faker's gonna die. Does he have stopwatch? Nice stopwatch. Blitzcrank champ is triggering me more and more and more every time I look at it. Like what? Like I'm all for saying, like, you know, you could say here that it's Guma's fault, but the second that hook misses Closer and he sidesteps it, fucking Giga Chad Closer, they know Blitzcrank's not bot. Like, poor Jinx. You pick Jinx into Aphelios Tam and she has a Blitzcrank. Like, who wants to... It's like playing Jinx Pike, you know? It's like she no longer becomes the center of attention, which she needs to be, because she's playing... It's a Jinx. TP comes in, they kill the tower. That's a TP from Dove, and Closer is fighting Zeus right now. Owner comes in, but he's 1v3. Hook is flashed, and now Blitzcrank is officially useless. He's just a fucking bot with the 1 knockup. Baker's 1v2ing. He has good stopwatch, but Keria is just dead. Like, this champ does nothing. It's so fucking useless. There's a Trundle Gragas in his face. Who the fuck cares about a hook? And Closer gets out. So, it's basically 4 for 1. So, really good team. By LSB, T1 just tries to salvage the bot play, which they can't do. But they should not have to salvage a bot play in the first place. Here, I think they just have to go top and get top tier 1 or something. Take their top camps as Owner or something. I don't know. Nice kill there by T1. Good rocket by Guma. Don't know if they had to herald it, unless they actually can get 2 towers now. I'm all for. 2 towers would be bloody lovely. Flash hook on the Tam. Yeah. Works. Gale is out. Guma's... Oh my god. No, 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 man. Oh. Yeah, this is where the game ends. When they had a good engage onto Croco, he died. They're fine. They can probably win this game with their champs. Swain, Sejuani, Wukong's pretty strong frontline. Jinx can actually scale. We can have a free tower here, but we don't have to dive. This tower will die. Azir has no TP. Looks like Azir has no TP. I don't know if the spectate's bugged, but they can just force the tower and whoever walks up can get hooked. They don't have to flash hook insta dive. Holy Prince. Prince best, probably the best ADs in the LCK. Second best probably. Now we're in a team fight. All of a sudden out of the replay where T1's all dead. Like, I feel like, I mean, Ruler is the best AD in the LCK, but it doesn't sound right to say Prince is the second because of the split that he's having. But he is playing so well. I think aiming is third, yeah, aiming is definitely. So they get Drake. I don't know how the mid fight happened. It came out of replay, but it looked like there was just an engage on mid. One is so disjointed. Well, like Zeus is calling for an engage, but Faker is nowhere near. Owner's not there yet. Keria then has to hook the Gragas because he's blocking. And now you're in a situation where they're all split up. Owner's arriving, but Zeus is already dead. Then they just chase topside, and Owner can't help, Faker can't help. Like, I'm gonna say it. Just don't put Zeus on tanks, please. Don't put Zeus on tanks. Stop it. No more Sejuani early rotations. No more Zeus on tanks, please. No more. Yeah. But the problem is, it's carry tops these days are a bit tricky to pull off because of the GP nerfs and the Gnar nerfs. It's like Gwen and then... Really good kill there. Am I missing something? Because GP... Like, Gnar is still picked, but not that great anymore. Like, not super OP. Shyvana. Yeah, Shyvana is a bit of a niche pick. And Akali is only picked into Gwen. So, like, Shyvana is a niche pick into tanks. Akali is a niche pick into Gwen. Fiora is a niche pick and so is Jax. But, like, in terms of blind pick tops, I think it's just, like, Gragas, Sejuani, Ornn, Gwen, Kennen, and then Camille in certain situations when there's a 4-5 ban. Then there's the counter picks of like Fiora and Jax and Akali and Shyvana, which is a different category in my eyes at least. That's how I see it. Aatrox as well. Again, not blindable, but a counter to Ornn. Counter to Gragas maybe. Renekton as well is actually pretty high prio. 4-5s. Okay, well they're just 2-manning Nash and it's dead. And Dove's actually out. Flash E over. Oh my god, closer. You disgusting human being. Wow. Ever since that dive, the game is completely out of control. There's a 14-0-3 Aphelios on my screen. Closer had a great series. Prince is fucking insane. Kayle played well. Croco never fails to impress either.